The Kink Switch BMX bike is the only bike, I guess the cheapest bike in Kink's lineup for 2025 that has a free coaster. There used to be a Kink Gap free coaster available, but now they don't have that anymore. So if you want a free coaster bike, you got to spend the $600 and get the Kink Switch. We're going to talk about the Kink Switch. I don't really love how it looks this year, but again, that's just me, my personal preference. There's no decals except this little guy. It looks naked. Little naked bike, man. I don't know. And don't know. But look at that, new tires. Hell yeah! Now we're talking. Kink. Okay, so the Kink Switch is a $600 BMX bike. Like I said, free coaster. It's pretty solid. It's a good quality bike. I always talk highly of it, and I'll help you decide if you should get the Kink Switch or the Kink Whip, probably in a different video. But it has a 20.75 inch top tube, okay? And so what that means is if you are between 5'9" and 6 foot, this is gonna be a good bike for you. All right, that's my frame. And the top tube is right here. So 20.75 inches. And what that means is that's how far your feet are from your hands. Your feet go here, your hands go here, right? 20.75, best for riders between 5'9" and 6 foot. If you're in between that, this is a good size option for you, okay? 20.75, that's what that means. Now, back to the stuff here. We've got a 12.75 inch chainstay, a 75.5 degree head tube angle, 9 inch standover height, and 26 millimeter fork offset. And what those geometries mean is essentially how responsive the bike is. So you've got mellow, you've got responsive. Responsive is good for quick spins and snappy steering and riding skate parks and everything like that. Mellow is good for feeling stable at high speeds and doing dirt jumps and doing big airs and stuff like that. So with this bike, it's gonna actually be very different from a lot of the other Kink bikes, okay? So that's responsive, that's mellow. And I'm gonna say the Kink Switch sits about right here. It's quite a bit more on the responsive side. And the reason for that is that 12.75 inch chainstay, that is pretty short and pretty responsive. If you pull backwards, the back end or the front end's gonna lift up quite a bit easier. It's got the 75.5 degree head tube angle. Most bikes are only 75 degrees, so this one is quite a bit more responsive. And then it has a 26 millimeter fork offset, okay? And again, that is quite a bit more responsive than, like, I'd say 30s right in the middle. This used to be super responsive, and now they've gone to, like, some bikes have a 15 millimeter, which is crazy responsive. So this technically is average, but it's not. In terms of how it feels for responsiveness, this is still responsive. It's gonna pop into nose manuals easier, and yeah, it's gonna feel responsive. So this is a responsive bike. It's good for like more technical street riding, more technical park riding, things like that. It still has that 9 inch standover height, so it's not good for like triple tail whips and those tricks, but it's good. It's a pretty responsive bike. All right, so the biggest thing in terms of value is quality to price. So $600, what do you get for that $600? You get a bike with full chromoly frame, full chromoly forks with a one-piece steer tube, full chromoly handlebars that are 9 inches tall, chromoly cranks, double wall Mission Mylar rims, a sealed free toaster, and a Mission Bond sealed bolt-in. I think that means it's a female front hub. Pretty sure it's a female front hub. No pictures, but I'm pretty sure it's a female front hub. The other thing I wanted to mention, 4-piece handlebars, which make it more street specific, top load stem, and it comes with pegs. This is the first bike in Kink's lineup that comes with pegs. You know, you go gap, no pegs, launch, no pegs, curb, no pegs, launch, no pegs, gap, no pegs, and whip, no pegs. And then the Switch comes with pegs, so that's kind of cool. But the thing I wanted to talk about was the tires. The Kink Wake 2.45. These are new tires for this year, and makes it pretty heavy. Makes it heavy. I don't know how I feel about these. I don't know enough about them yet, but they do look quite a bit better than the Kink Sever tires. The big deal with the Kink Sever tires is, like, I talked a lot of shit about them in last year's reviews, but they are insanely heavy. The Kink Sever tires are just so heavy, and they're slippery. So you could like replace them and save a ton of weight. I would assume that these tires are the same way, like very heavy, but I don't actually know that for sure. So I don't want to talk on it, but we can take a look real quick. Kink Sever tires, 32.5 ounces. Guys, that's literally 2 pounds. That is 2 pounds of tire. That's fucking crazy. Okay, and these are 24.7. So these are quite a bit lighter. All right, quite a bit lighter than the Sever tires. And I guess we get that 28-pound bike because of the 2 pegs, maybe. Because they're nylon, they look metal in the picture, but what the hell do I know? Oh, they are nylon. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, that's the Kink Switch. Is it good for you? Is it a good bike? I think the Kink Switch is awesome. I like the value because you're spending $100 more than the Whip, but you're getting a bike with a free coaster, 4-piece bars, pegs. It's a little more street specific. Yes, it's $100 more, but it's still good quality. And again, it's more responsive and street specific. The geometries on the Whip down are very generic geometries, I'd say. They're not like, they're just generic. Those are the typical geometries you'll see on most bikes. 13.2 inch chainstay, 75-degree standover height, 32 millimeter fork offset. Like, those are very standard. So the Switch switches it up and makes them a little bit more unique and better for certain types of riding than just standard riding, if that makes any sense. But that's the Kink Switch. I can let you know if it's perfect for you, and I can also find 3 bikes that are absolutely perfect for you by clicking the link in the description. Fill out the recommendation. I'll let you know if it's a good bike, and I'll send you some good bikes for you. So yeah,